So here I have the Corsair RM series RM650. It's a 650 watts power supply by Corsair, obviously. It's an 80 plus gold efficiency, fully modular ATX power supply, as it says here. It's fully modular, as you can see by the picture. It's the 2023 model. So that means it doesn't have PCIe Gen 5, which I don't need. I bought this so I could put it into my Meteor server NAS, which is right there in the Fractal Design Node 304. The reason I bought this is that because currently I have like this old unidentified white label kind of power supply, which is risky as hell. At first, that's the only thing I had, but I was like sitting down and I was thinking like, okay, that's not the greatest idea to put like an unidentified power supply in there. So, and then I saw this power supply. It had a great deal, mind you. It's not new. I don't know how long it's been used. It's used. It's open. It's an open box kind of product. I bought this from a local store here. It had a great price. I practically couldn't refuse it. It was like something like $60 or something like that. So it was like half price really from the retail value of it. So I basically had to get it, and I just hope it's gonna work. I'm gonna test it in a little bit, but first we'll go into the box and see what we get with it. But first of all, let's see the specifications and the back, how it looks like in the back. You have the measurements. It's a 140 millimeter length power supply, so it's not that big, and it's a 150 millimeter width. But the only thing I care about is the length, because the Fractal Design, the Node 304, they say it supports up to 160. I don't recall. The power supply that I currently have there, the unidentified white label one, is 150 millimeters, so this should be smaller. So yeah, basically it has. They say it's a 7-year warranty, even though my local store said they cover. They have like a local warranty guarantee of 5 years only. But I guess Corsair could respect this one. It's a 0 RPM mode. Let's see. Yeah, it's just basically all the features in the back. You get inputs, all the information. The same information is on the power supply itself, or you can find it online when you're looking into this product. Fan noise levels, 80 plus efficiency, all that good stuff. Alright, so I'm just gonna open the box and I'll see. I want to see this power supply. I want to test it, and I want to see that all the cables came with it, that's nothing missing, because an open box from this local store that I bought it from can mean like a few things. It could mean that the box was damaged during shipping, which doesn't seem to be the case here. So the customer returned it. They give you like 14 days to return it, no questions asked, if you don't want it. So I think like at most, I think the customer bought this and he realized he needed like a higher wattage power supply. That 650 wasn't enough, so yeah, he just returned it. So but yeah, of course I'm just gonna check it out, because you always have this kind of worry. I mean, I'm not really scared to have warranty. If something goes bad, I can just like return it and they'll give me something else. But you always have this kind of worry at the back of your head that something might be bad with it, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I just want to check it out and see that it works, because really I don't really have the headache to mess with warranty and stuff. I just want it to work. That's the reason I bought it for. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so I unboxed everything. The box is empty. So what we get with it is a silica gel that was on top of it, and and then the booklet. It's kind of like crumpled. Yeah, you can see that it's been used. You get like some zip ties and screws for the power supply, and then you get all the cables. We'll go through them in a second. I have to see that we're not missing anything. I kind of remember the cables on top of my head, but we'll get over that in a second. But here is the power supply. An obvious opened plastic wrap, like yeah, somebody ripped it apart, opened it, obviously. So I think this thing has been tested. It's been powered on, I think. I'm not sure, but hold on a second. I'm not sure, but even if it was turned on, I don't really care. I just want it to work normally, and that's it. I mean, that's all I care about. There is some cosmetic, cosmetic damage over here. It's just, you know, the paint a little bit. I don't know. I guess he was being, yeah, he manhandled this thing, probably. Okay, so here are all the connectors. This is for the 24 pin, these two, the 20 and the 4. No, that's not right. That's like 16 and 8, I think. Doesn't really matter. You know what I mean. These are for the EPS or GPU. We're not going to use any GPU cable power connectors in this scenario because, as I mentioned, it's going into a media server NAS. No graphics card in there. Okay, so here is the SATA ports and PATA. I guess this is for the Molex and everything. I only need it for SATA. Okay, so we have PCIe and another CPU connector, EPS connector. Yeah, because you're getting two EPS connectors with it and two PCIe. So let's go over the cables right now. You get the power connector. It's an EU European connector, kind of connector into C13, C14. I never get those right. Doesn't matter. You get the 24 pin. Obviously been used. It was untangled. Okay, we have the Molex, like 6 pin into 4 Molex connectors. Won't need any of those. This is the CPU. I only need one. Oh, actually, I don't. The motherboard that I'm using is an SoC. It's really low-powered motherboard, so it doesn't have any 4-pin or 8-pin EPS on it. I just need a 24-pin, and the SATA, of course. Okay, so this is one of the SATA connectors. I read that there is 7 in total, so this one has 3 into 6-pin. Okay, so we need another one. This is the second CPU EPS connector. Don't need any of that. And this is the second GPU PCIe connector, and yeah, this is the SATA connector. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. That's everything that I need. Because the Node 304, I don't know if any of you know this case, but it has room for 6 hard drives. So I have 7 connectors over here. I'm gonna use 6 of those, and the extra one is gonna connect. I have like this adapter from SATA to Molex, male SATA power to male Molex connector, because I don't want to like plug this thing, this long Molex connector, just for one connector over here. So I have this adapter that's going to connect from SATA to Molex, and why I need Molex is to power on the fan connectors, the fan, what do you call it, the manager or whatever, the fan controller. Yeah, there you go, the fan controller, and it requires a Molex connector, and I don't need to connect like 4 Molex. Yeah, this fucking cable over here just for one Molex connector doesn't make sense. So I have that adapter, and I will be using that. So basically, where is the 24 pin? That's all I need, to be honest. So for me, that's enough. But we seem to have all the connectors here. 2 EPS. I counted 2 EPS, 2 PCIe cables. Each of them has 2, so 4 in total, and for 1 cable for the Molex, which has 4 connectors in it. So I think that's about right. I'm gonna go over the connectors later to see if anything missing, but I don't think so. I think everything is there. So that's good. In the future, I might like upgrade this NAS into an AMD processor with a motherboard that will require the EPS connector. So I will just keep these cables around and label the bag. I'll put it in a bag and label the bag the RM650. So I'll know that these cables belong to that. But yeah, I probably would just need this thing, the EPS, one EPS in the future, and that's it. It's just going to be more of the same. This power supply is strictly going to be for the NAS media server that I have. I'm not going to replace it. I might replace other parts in the media server, as I mentioned earlier, like a few moments ago. We'll replace the motherboard and the processor possibly to have a better transcoding abilities, because what I have in there is just a Pentium, I believe it's the N3700, just a really weak processor. It's good for direct play, and that's it. For Plex direct play, I'm using Plex server in there, and I have the Exponology installed in there. So yeah, as part of a package, you know. But it's quite enough for direct play, which what I do mostly, and remote play. It's remote direct play, but for transcoding, yes, this processor is really struggling. So I might upgrade in the future to something else, but that's gonna be in the future, as we just said. So anyway, I'm just going to get my test bench in here and test this power supply to see that it works, and we'll take a closer look how it goes. So I got everything set up. Here's the power supply. It's connected to the motherboard. It's some old Z77 motherboard. It has like a very old CPU over here, the i7 3770, the non-K version. It's an old Intel CPU. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna test fire this thing. So everything is on. Power supply, I turned it on over here. It's basically ready to boot. So I'm just gonna click the button over here on my test bench, and fans are spinning. The fans is briefly spinning on the power supply, and we have a successful boot. It's gonna boot into this rescue disk USB that I have. Doesn't really matter. Installed Medicat on it, but I'm not gonna bother. So that's all I wanted to see. I wanted to see that operating, and it does. It's fine. It's working well. It just does this clicking sound when you turn it on, like tick. But I don't care as long as it's running. That's all I care. I've been like reading some review about this power supply, and some other people mentioned this click. So now I understand what they're talking about. So, but it doesn't bother me none as long as it's gonna work well. I don't care if it's gonna do some clicking. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna boot into this rescue disk. It doesn't really matter. It's not relevant to the video, but it's just while we're talking here, I'm just gonna load it up, so we'll see it under operation. But yeah, this it's very nice, very compact kind of power supply. It's gonna be useful in the Node 304 with my media server NAS. I'm gonna be installing it later. But yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this video right now. I don't really have to show it how it's gonna come out. Maybe I will have some future videos on this processor that I'm planning to upgrade inside my Node 304. I'm going to keep the case. I'm going to run with the 304 for a long time. It's going to be a long time until I replace this case. I like the 304. The only caveat in this case is the side panel. I don't know if you can see it. I keep battling with closing the side panel on this thing. Whoever designed the side panel is horrible. He should never make cases again. But overall, this case is pretty nice. I like it. Aside from the side panel, which is nearly damn impossible to close it. You really have to coordinate it better, and sometimes I don't really have the time. That's why it looks like that, because I really didn't have the time to mess with it, and I was just changing something in there, and I don't even remember what I did, but I really didn't have time to negotiate with it, and I just closed it as best as I could, and yeah, it looks horrible. That's why. So basically, that's it about this video. I'm going to update. If I'm going to upgrade this NAS, then you'll probably see the power supply in there, because I'm going to be installing it later when I have time. But there is no need to put it on this video. Yeah, if you want to stay updated to see it inside the NAS, then you could just follow it up when I'm gonna upgrade the hardware in there. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative. I really like the power supply. It's really small, it's quiet. It's apart from that clicking sound that it makes when you turn it off and turn it on, it doesn't bother me none. I don't care that it makes this clicking sound, but it's really silent when it's operating. And yeah, this NAS doesn't even cross like 60 watts, to be honest. 67 watts, that's what I've seen at most when I'm running the Plex Direct Play or whatever, which mostly that's what I'm doing on there. So 650 watts is really ultra uber overkill for that. But hey, I have it, so you know, it was on a good price and a good sale. Then why not do it, you know? And I really wanted that gold efficiency. Maybe it could help cut back some power, you know, to save some power or whatever. But it's mostly because I needed something reliable. I had that white label unidentified power supply. It says Lighton. I know Lighton made DVDs and burners or whatever to burn CDs or whatever. It's really old, really old. It's just I couldn't risk. It was a bad idea on my end to put that power supply to begin with in there, because okay, it's a data server. Like I'm using it. Well, I would call it NAS, not a server, but still, I handle data over there. Well, I handle my media data over there, like movies, TV shows, and it could go like this. Of course, I keep copies. I'm not stupid or anything. I keep copies, but still, it's just the hassle of copying over and reinstalling everything, you know. And I don't want it to burn any of my hard drives to take something with it if it dies out of nowhere or something. So I just had to get this thing. It was on a good sale anyway. So yeah, and I did. So that's pretty much it. The end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. And if you want to see more videos like that in the future, stay tuned, especially if I am going to upgrade the NAS, and you can see this power supply in there. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.